Good day. I am me. Hopefully you are you. If not, you will be. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just thought about the opening thing there. I say good day instead of good morning because morning associates with death, sadness, just like awake. It's where you go for a funeral, and but so it just ties into, you better start learning the reason why you were taught spelling, because with every word you speak, you are casting spells, projecting on other people, but always yourself, because you hear everything that you say, no matter who you're talking to. So you're always talking to yourself. But anyway, yeah, so this is why you were taught certain words. This is why it's best to look up definitions of words, but even better to do the etymology, meaning where the word originates from. So once you get back to the root word, then you find out the definition of that word. Then the word that you've been speaking, thinking that it means something else, you'll find out its true meaning. But so yeah, these are, why you're taught to talk the way you're taught to talk when you're in school, because it's all to ingrain your brain to stay in the slave cycle, teaching you to be a slave, but just like with the way religions, they teach you that it's the same thing, but they just use it as to keep you under, thinking that God is out there. Well, he is, but he's in you because he gave you breath of life, meaning he gave you part of him, part of his soul. So and what he gave you was his choice, not up to any of us what we were given for anything. But yeah, so he wants me to explain what tithing means to you. It doesn't mean that you go to a building and give whatever denomination or whatever, a tenth of your money. That's a man-made agenda. Now, I'm not saying for you to not help if you can help somebody, or if you feel led to donate to some organization, but I would advise you to do research on whatever organization before you donate any kind of money to any of them. Really do your due diligence and research into before you just hand over the money to whatever, because I'm not saying that they all are shams or scams or crooked or whatever, but there are a lot out there that are. There are some that are not. But and you really need to make sure you're helping what you believe to stand on, for what their principles are, what they're doing, and if it aligns with the Father. But back to the tithing part. Tithing is in the era of law and sacrifice, which is the beginning, the first part of man being here. They had to sacrifice animals and had to tithe their first fruits and the first born of the animals that they were raising, and so it became a different era. Not saying that you still don't have to obey his commandments and laws, because we are always, no matter what era we're in, that's what everything is governed by. But the Lord, the Messiah, came here and sacrificed himself to fulfill the law, meaning so we no longer had to do sacrifices. And it changed everything. I'm not out of the 10th part, and giving your first fruits changed also, to where now you no longer have to give what is given to you. But so he fulfilled it. So now he wants the first part of your day, every day, the first 10th of you, your time, your energy, because everything is already here because he put it here. So if he is an all-powerful God, why does he say that you are to give back 10% to whatever, when he doesn't need what you have, because he gave it to you? Like I said, but I'm not saying not to help people or to help whatever that aligns with his will, his purpose, his commandments. But yeah, so because he can make more of anything, everything, just like he's been doing the whole time. I mean, why do you think everything is here? You think man built it, but we didn't create none of this material stuff. Everything comes from stuff that was already here. All we're doing is just inventing, building from ideas and creativity, which all comes from him. So yeah, we can't create nothing. So why would he ask you to give him back 10% of something that he already put here for us to do with? So stop buying into these man-made agendas to talk you out of some of your stuff. I mean, just for example, look at some of the preachers, pastors, ministers, whatever they boast about. They have private jets, they live in huge mansions, and I mean, what do you need to hoard all that for from people that we're trying to help other people with, just so you can live in luxury and high on the hog kind of thing? That's not how it's supposed to work. You just manipulated and deceived other people into giving you their money, and they're probably barely scraping by because you sold them a dream, and told them a story, and they donated. And I'm not saying that God ain't gonna bless them, because and all karma comes back around, but when you get it and receive it, that's not up to us, that's up to the Father. When everybody receives their due karma for whatever the reason. And you got to keep in mind, some of these people are storing up riches for the Father's chosen, marked children that will disperse, use all the means that these people are storing up, whether it's money, possessions, to be distributed fairly amongst people that are deserving. So if you're misusing whatever, chances are you're probably not one of them people. I'm not saying that I am, so nobody is better than anybody, but he is paying attention to how you treat everything. And karma ties into all this, because everything is energy. So however you treat whatever energy and whatever you're putting energy and time towards, if it's something that he doesn't align with his will, his purpose, his glory, his kingdom, then this is just the way he designed it. I'm not the designer, I'm just a messenger. So, but yeah, these are just some of the ways that we've all been misled. It's been misconstrued to work to their advantage at that time. But we're at the time now to where all that is going to start changing to the great wealth transfer. This is where we're at. And some of that is also a generation that owns a lot of businesses and properties and things that their children and their children's children don't want anything to do with. They don't know nothing about it. They don't know how to run it. They don't know how to manage it. All they want is their bowl of beans, meaning they just want the inheritance from whatever their grandparents or great-grandparents built, and they just want the money so they can go live it up, and when it's gone, it's gone. But so there's going to be a lot of businesses and properties and all kinds of stuff and money that are going to be changing hands, changing bloodlines. But this is where we're at in the timeline. It's not the world is ending and all this fear-mongering stuff, and that whole part on the Great Tribulation and all that isn't playing out the way that they told us and perceived, and so don't buy into all that. That's not, I'll have to explain that in another video. But yeah, we are changing eras of time, yes, but we are changing into the era of time to where we are going to live by his rules, his ways, like it or not. That's just the way it's going to be, because this is his creation. This is not the devil's kingdom. He just let the devil play and do his thing, and he got to play his time, and now we're going into the time of the 1,000 years where we'll live the way the Lord says we're going to live. And there's going to be people that aren't going to want to. Not everybody's going to, be for the Lord and his ways, and even though it's going to be much more peaceful and loving and joyous, and but it's yeah. So, but anyway, that's tithing. So I mean, if you still feel led to give to whatever church, man-made religion you're involved in and going to, that's up to you. I'm not telling you to do it or not to do it. I'm just presenting you the truth of what's really going on. And so yeah, religion is a man-made thing. I don't care which one you want to look at or talk about. They're all man-made thing with their own man-made agenda. Most of it's all about money. Some of it's about control. I've studied into, I can't say every single one of them, but I have studied into a lot of them. Not just Christianity either, and they're all based off of the same thing. There's one main source, one king, ruler, one God, one, because there is one. Yeah. And, but yeah, there's just, I'm sorry, I'm just overwhelmed with thoughts and, putting this out there, but I'm trying not to just overwhelm everybody in one video, because there's just so much to all this that's going to be undone. And that's part of my journey. Is that my main soul's purpose? I don't think so. I think that my purpose is, that's just a part of my purpose. But yeah, so my purpose is very impactful, because whom the crown is given to, is heavy and much is required. And I've been through a lot more than people ever would think. And I sure don't look like everything I've been through. And, but yeah, but I didn't ask for none of this, I promise you. Because all the stuff I went through, I don't wish that, a lot of that, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. No. It was not a fun journey. It was not, there was good moments, but anyway. We'll do my story one day. Maybe I'll be interviewed by somebody and be on TV or whatever. I don't know when that'll happen, but for right now, I'm just led to present the truth about things. And this is the part of where John 4:23 and 24 talks about the hour has come when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. And the Father is seeking those that do such. Because the Father is a spirit, and we are to worship him in spirit and in truth. So this means he has nothing to do with religion, and he's calling everybody out of religion, and to start seeking him for yourself, reading your word yourself, or not your word, his word, for yourself, and talking to him, which is praying, meditation, which is actually means to ponder on something over and over and over until you get an answer. That is what meditation actually is. So yeah, there's some nuggets there for you in every video. Just trying not to overwhelm you with so much, and what you do with all this is your choice. Yeah, so I just hope that you get it, you receive it. Hopefully you do some of your own research and check into it yourself. Unlike most people don't do. They just follow the lead of the masses, or they follow the lead of whoever's holding whatever prestige seat, which is something you're not supposed to seek after. It's in the word. And those that do chances are corrupt, because that's why they're seeking it. So they have power and prestige and pull over things and conform things to benefit their advantage. But yeah, so hopefully it's a beautiful day where you are. It's another beautiful day here. Yeah, you're already been given grace, mercy. He's already showing you love, peace, joy, rest, comfort. He already blessed you, showed you favor. He's given you a gift. He's given you a talent. Because if you woke up, you can see, you can hear, taste, touch, smell. Your body functions. You had something to eat. You had something to drink. Clothes to wear, roof over your head, car to drive. I mean, if you got somebody that loves you, you got kids, you got family, you got friends. I mean, there's just so much to be thankful for. The sun came around again another day, didn't ask permission, it just shows up. You know, you're still, the earth is still providing. Nature is still growing. Wildlife is still doing what it does. I mean, there's just so much goodness everywhere. You know, so say hi to somebody, smile, ask them how they're doing. Just tell them that, you know, it's a beautiful day. You'd be surprised to just, when you ask somebody and they say good or whatever their response is, and they say you, just say blessed. Watch the shock on their face, because people, you know, whatever. Try to think of something better. Excellent, terrific, wonderful, tremendous. There's all kinds of better words than just good, fine, okay. You know, that's kind of like a bah humbug. You know, like you're just surviving. You're not really happy to be here. You got to get out of that mindset. The world is a beautiful place, or I should say the earth. The earth is a beautiful place. And there's a lot of good things here. It's all in your perspective, but you know, the choice is yours. What you do with everything is up to you. But you know, just remember, everything's being weighed on a scale, though, and it don't go to what you say is good and what you say is bad. It's all weighed on his scale to what he says goes to the good and goes to the bad, and then and it's up to him to, when he dishes out, whether you get good karma or bad karma, and you know, how much of it you get is up to him too. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's not up to us, that we bought into, that we think is our choices, our decisions. But a lot of stuff is not in our control. Just your choices, your actions, your words, you know, your thoughts. So be mindful of what you're watching, listening to, who you hang around, places you go, the words you speak, because all these play huge factors. But anyway, yeah, so if you feel led to help somebody, help them. If you have it to help them with, you know, that's part of what we're here for. It's much easier to love, and is lighter to carry than to hate and carry unnecessary burden, weight, for whatever your reason is that you don't want to love on somebody, for whatever your reason. But remember, none of us are perfect. We've all, hopefully, are learning lessons and not making mistakes. But I explained that in another video. So, but yeah, anyway, yeah, just hope you have a wonderful, glorious, beautiful day. Yeah, peace, love, and light. Shalom.